What is up, guys? Justin here with a tag response video, and it's been a long time since I've done something like this on the channel. I'm not sure where this tag video originated, but I was tagged by Retro Shinobi, and I'll throw his channel link down in the description below. I'll probably annotate it up here somewhere for you as well. Definitely go check out his channel. Real cool guy, real young guy actually. I think he's like 15 or 16, but he's definitely got a sizable collection and knows what he's talking about when it comes to retro video games. So go check him out. This was a 3-question tag video. So question number 1 was, what game system would you want to be buried with? And so I kind of just interpreted this as, you know, which system would I want to take to the grave with me? And honestly, for me, I think it's going to have to be the N64, with, of course, an honorable mention to the Super Nintendo, because realistically, I think I cherish my Super Nintendo and that whole collection a little bit more so than my N64 and that collection, but nostalgically speaking, it's got to be the N64. It wasn't the first system that I had when I was growing up, but it was the first system that I got brand new when it came out, and I kind of got to experience the evolution of the system. So it's got to be the N64 for me. I don't know, maybe I'd like line the inside of my coffin with all the fantastic system colors or something like that. Anyway though, moving on to question 2, and that was, do you have trouble finding games? And I'm going to have kind of like a yes and no answer to this one, because no, it's not hard for me to go out in the wild and physically locate games. I do live in a small town, but we have a game store here that sells retro and modern video games. We have a GameStop, along with a couple other smaller, you know, like mom and pop shops that occasionally carry video games. So no, it's not hard for me to go out and physically look at games, but what is hard is obviously finding them for a price that I'm willing to pay for them, because I'll be honest, I'm cheap. I feel like you kind of have to be cheap to a certain extent in this hobby, and so it's not uncommon for me to go out to the game store, GameStop, whatever, and look around and walk out empty-handed because I didn't find anything for a price that I was willing to pay for it. And I feel like a lot of people are probably in the same boat and can probably relate to that, in that it's not hard to find games, but it is hard to find them for the right price. So anyway, moving on to question number 3, and that was, do you regret selling or trading games? And yeah, definitely, I've experienced seller's remorse before. Not so much recently, I've kind of learned my lesson, but there's always one story in particular, at least, that pops into my head when a question like this comes up, and that is Pikmin 2 for the GameCube. And that's a game that I bought back when it first came out, bought it brand new, I beat it, and then in the period between when I stopped playing games as a kid and kind of started seriously recollecting again a few years later, I sold off a lot of the games that I had, and Pikmin 1 and 2 were a couple of the games that I sold. And of course, when I started recollecting again, that was when Pikmin 2 was really hot. It was like an $80 game complete in box. So you can bet that I regretted the hell out of selling that game. Luckily, I have since come across a copy. I do have a copy of my collection now, but that's just kind of the one story that pops into my head whenever a question like that comes up. And then I guess a similar story is Super Monkey Ball on the GameCube, of all games. It's another one that I sold around the same time period. I sold my copy of Monkey Ball 1 and 2, and that's one actually that I have not yet found for my collection. I picked up a copy of Monkey Ball 2 at a garage sale last summer, I believe, but I still have not located a copy of Monkey Ball 1. Again, for a price that I'm willing to pay for it. I've seen it at stores before, but never for a price that I was willing to pay for it. It's just kind of funny because it's not like a rare or expensive game by any means. I could obviously go on eBay and just pay the $10 or whatever it is for it, but you know, it's a thrill of the hunt. I know if I wait it out, I'll find a copy for a few dollars sometime down the road. It's not a game I'm dying to play right now. So anyway, I guess in summary on that last question there, yes, I've experienced seller's remorse before, but I've kind of learned my lesson about the whole thing at this point. So anyway, those are my answers to the 3 questions there. I guess now is the point in the video where I have to tag 3 other YouTubers to answer the same question. So I'm going to tag Scorpion Slayer 66, LifeSpiller79, and Retro Rewinder. So glad I said that right. I always mess that up. I will throw all 3 of their channel links down in the description. Definitely go check them out. I'll send you guys a quick message too, just to make sure you saw this video, or this part of the video anyway. And of course, just because I didn't tag you or whatever doesn't mean I don't want to hear your answers to the questions as well. Feel free to drop a comment down below, answer, you know, 1, 2, or even all 3 of the questions if you want. Like I said, definitely interested to hear what you guys have to say about those as well. And I want to thank you guys for sticking around and checking out the video. I know it was a quick one, but MGC is coming up here in just a couple weeks, and super excited about that. I'm going to be filming as much of that as we can, hopefully, you know, throughout the whole weekend. So hopefully have some content up from that as well. And thanks again for watching, guys. Take care.